Oh my gosh, we're back, people. We're back. We are 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 back. How's everybody doing today? How's everybody feeling today? Appreciate all y'all for stopping by. Oh my goodness, man. So first episode of the year. And man, I'm excited to be back. Let me be honest. I'm super duper mega quadruple all of these things excited to be back. Like, you don't even understand. Like, really, it's great. It's great to be back. How's everybody doing in the chat? Super Andrew, I see you. Stitch, Dark Master, Smash JT, Ryoko, see all y'all, man. Lieutenant Surge at the top. Appreciate all y'all for stopping by, man. Stopping by. We are back. Jake and Bacon, I see you, bro. My Mario Red Joy-Cons just came in, and oh my god. Yeah, Jake, I know you're hyped about that. I will keep my kids away from your Red Joy-Cons because mine are still not anywhere to be found. So anyway, yeah, glad to be back, and we got some news to talk about. So I'm gonna do of course the quick hitters, and we got a little bit of quick hitters. Not a whole lot of news like that I was super. Oh, thanks, Stitch. Yes, it's a Doctor Who shirt. Not the Beatles, but all the doctors. So starting from 9 to 12, or is it 10 to 12, 13? 10 to 13. Yes, 9 and whatever. Anyway, so and that too. And thank you, Edger. Thank you for that about the edited content. So anyway, yeah, we're gonna do some quick hitters, some small quick hitters, and then we're gonna just really the big show is going to be just what I missed throughout the holiday season, because I didn't go live for NDN throughout the holiday season. I wanted to take a break. I didn't want to come back until my first full week of work. I started work last week, but I started like Wednesday. So I wanted to come back on my first full week of work. That way I could get back into my routine of everything. And so we are back. It's today. Today is what, the 7th? So January 7th, first episode. We're back, and we're going to talk about some news, and it's going to be fun. And I'm glad that you all are here. And let's go ahead and just hit those quick hitters. Oh, yes. The quick hitters. So, I mean, quick hitters really, I mean, it's not what's up, Salty. I see you, bro. So, quick hitters really not anything crazy, right? There's a little bit of news that came out, but it's right after the holiday season. We don't have a whole lot of like crazy, this just happened. We had that little, snippet from Furukawa about Nintendo when people kind of freaked out about that, but we'll talk about this. So, according to Matt Piscatella, NPD analyst, he says next year, or next generation rather, should I say, he can't see the PS5 not being backwards compatible. That was kind of the big thing with the PS4, right? Was it wasn't backwards compatible. They did have PlayStation Now, so you could play, old games that way, but the PS4 wasn't backwards compatible. He says this year he cannot see them not making it backwards compatible, at least to PS4, and so that's what he sees up in the future. And he said the same thing about Xbox. They're going to be backwards compatible too, as well. I said as well. They're going to be backward compatible. So according to MPD, they think PlayStation 5 will be backwards compatible. I don't know why that's such a big deal. I don't know why Sony never did that with the PS4, but whatever. And yeah, and so according to some people, we could get a potentially, and we're sticking to Sony news here. Sorry, I'm a little rusty. And sticking to Sony news, we could still be getting a Last of Us Part 2, Last of Us Number 2, Last of Us 2, whatever you want to call it. We could possibly be getting it this year in 2019. I don't know. I don't see that happening, especially since PlayStation has decided not to do E3. I would think that they would want to do E3 with a bang, right? They would want to announce this game with high acclaim, right? Like, and they're not going to do that at E3. So I doubt that this is true about them Last of Us being a 2019 release, right? I think it's going to be a 2020 release. I think it's going to be a PlayStation 5 release. Honestly, it's going to be like one of those crossover, like when the PS5 releases, Last of Us 2 will release on that in the PS4. That's what I think is going to happen with this game. And speaking of future generation games for Xbox, let's see here. 343 Industries Frank O'Connor, he's the director of Halo. In the multiplayer, he says that the multiplayer for Halo Infinite is coming along very, very well. And there's speculation as to what it will be. Remember, there was the rumor that there would be loot boxes involved in Halo, and he said it would just involve cosmetics and whatnot. And people were like, no, we don't need loot boxes in Halo. We don't need that, because of the whole Battlefront 2 thing, and people were upset. And so people are now hinting that there's going to be Battle Royale in this Halo. We talked about this on Salty's podcast about Battle Royale coming to Halo, and Salty's, I was against it. Salty said, hey, look, Battle Royale is becoming just the team deathmatch genre now. It's becoming just the thing for everybody to play. Team deathmatch is pretty much dying, and domination and all these other game types, like everybody wants Battle Royale. And so he says that, hey, they probably should add it to Halo, and he thinks that they will. And I disagree with him at first, but thinking back on it, I think that they will do that. Just because, like I said, it's a genre that's growing. It seems like everybody's doing it. And then they also mentioned, like, we're going to have loot boxes, but it's just going to be cosmetics. I feel like that trend is for Battle Royale games, Fortnite, PUBG, all that stuff. And so I think it coming along nicely. And he says he's super confident and enthusiastic about the Infinite's multiplayer. I'm pretty sure they're gonna have Battle Royale in this game. That's just me for Halo Infinite. Salty, let him know in the chat what you think as far as, like, will there be Battle Royale in Halo Infinite? I think they will have to be. Next bit of quick hitter news, Nintendo news, and I didn't hit on this earlier. I made a video on this earlier, so if you haven't seen that video, go check it out. So Humble Bundle Store now is selling official Nintendo Switch and 3DS games digitally, obviously digitally. In addition, you can pick up some DLC packages there as well. If you are already a member of the Humble Bundle, you are getting $5 off any purchase from the Nintendo Store right now. Anything that's under $19.99, so pretty much everything in the shop, because the only thing that's not $19.99 is like the Pokemon Quest packages and Nintendo Switch Online, but everything else you're gonna get $5 off. And there were some people on the video that said that they don't know if this will be up for a while. They know that Humble Bundle has offered some Nintendo sales for the Wii U and whatnot. I think that this could and probably should be a permanent thing for Nintendo, in my opinion, and I hope it is, and I hope it remains there. Only because I mentioned this, like, how often does Nintendo have sales in their games? How stingy is Nintendo with their money and things like this? And it seems like they're becoming more and more open with newer ideas since Furukawa became the president, right? And so in my video, I wanted to say that I feel like this should stay, and it needs to stay there because I'm excited to see what they could do with the Humble bundles when it comes to Nintendo games, and how well it'll work, and how this ends up growing. And I feel like this is just kind of a step for Nintendo to sort of move to the future. And yes, it's United States only, Andrew. I forgot about that. It's United States only though, but I like this. I think this bodes well for Nintendo, for the future Nintendo and the new Nintendo and all that stuff. I like it. Waiting for that Humble Bundle, and I think Nintendo's taking some steps forward to sort of not being what my boy Lord Incognito of the Iron Lords podcast is. He always calls them Grandpa Nintendo because they seem to be the last one to do all that stuff. And so Grandpa Nintendo not really being Grandpa Nintendo. So I like this a whole lot. Love it, actually. And so that's the quick hitter news there. And last bit of quick hitter news, and this was a kind of older news. I didn't get to talk about this, but I want to put it in quick hitter because I don't think it's big enough to be in a big show. Super Lucky's Tale, the game, the exclusive that was on the Xbox, Microsoft exclusive. It was a sort of a platformer game, cute little cuddly fox. I love that game. I really did play it. I enjoyed playing that game. Rumors are coming to the Switch, and I hope it does. Honestly, I don't think it'll do well, but I hope it does. Just because I like the game, and I think it would fit. I think it would do decent on the Switch. And so I hope it comes. Either way, and that will do it for the quick hitter news. Let's see who we got in the chat. How's everybody doing in the house gaming? What's going on, bro? What are you guys saying in the chat? Let's check this out. Avidan, what's going on, bro? I didn't see you, but appreciate you, bro. Raiko says, where we at? Where'd she say here? First thing she said, let me see about the Sony. It just skipped. Where's it at? Sony not having wrapped up the Uncharted series. That's going to be a big mess next gen, probably. She also said Furukawa is banishing the Nintendo demons. I see that there. Super interested. Nintendo games need to go on sale more often. I agree with you, especially the older ones, 100%. And Marcus says, or games need to be moved to the Nintendo Selects range sooner. I'm making a video talking about how I feel Nintendo could and should improve NSO and what they should do if they really, really want to stop these ROM sites. I feel like there's one thing that they could do, and yes, there is one other major piece of Nintendo news: Smirk, bad latency. We're gonna get into that in the big show. So let's go ahead and get into it. So the big show, we're going to talk about some news that we missed over the holiday season. We're also going to talk about news that came out today about latency with the Smirk. There's only one other major piece of Nintendo news, yes. And so over the holidays, did a few podcasts, did Salty's podcast, did Avidan's podcast, didn't do any NDNs over the holidays because one, I just didn't want to, wanted to relax. And Ryoko, we'll talk about that in my video. Trust me, I got it. I got you. So anyway, the first bit of news I want to talk about was Amazon. The best seller of 2018 on Amazon in gaming was Super Smash Bros. In less than a month. I think the number was around like 3 mil or something like that. The game was just killing it. I expect Smash Bros to be at 10 plus. When it's all said and done in the first month or two. Honestly, if I had to be honest with y'all, I feel like it could be there. This game is just fun. This game is huge. This game is everything that we wanted. There are some small issues here and there. Like if you play online, you will notice that there are some peer-to-peer issues with Smash. We cannot deny that. But other than that, the game is fun. Game is huge. Game is great. And I feel like it's going to do some pretty damaging numbers, and we're going to see them here pretty soon. And that's what I think anyway. And then we had another bit of news on the big show was that EA, apparently the rumor was EA is working on Frostbite engine support for the Nintendo Switch. That came out during the holiday break. And I think this is good. People, when you hear the word EA, when you hear about EA, the company, what people automatically have bad thoughts, and rightfully so. EA hasn't been in the most favorable position of gaming companies in the last few years, last decade at least. And so EA at the beginning of the Switch generation, they said, hey, we're not going to support Switch that much. We're paying attention to it, but we don't think we're really going to do it. And then now all of a sudden, this rumor comes because apparently the LinkedIn page, they have somebody here talking about how they're responsible engineered already existing SDKs for Nintendo Switch, allowing game teams to enable publishing games on the Switch. That was one of the big ones there. It's like, why would this be a thing? Oak City Gamers, what's good, bro? So, why would this be a thing? I kind of like this idea. I hope that EA brings some games to the Switch. I would love to play Madden on the Switch, honestly, if I was real with y'all. I know y'all hate Madden. I love Madden. I'd love to play Madden on the Switch. I love to play NBA Live on the Switch. We already have FIFA, but FIFA, they actually had to redo the gaming engine for the release of FIFA on the Switch. So now that they're actually doing a Frostbite sort of engine for the Switch, they can probably have an easier time with these games. I don't think they're going to get big games like Battlefield. They could possibly, but I don't think they will. But because EA, and let's be honest, pretty much EA, like, they love this Frostbite engine. They 100% love this Frostbite engine. Every game that they make, I mean, pretty much, like, is using the Frostbite engine. So if EA is figuring out a way to get Frostbite for the Switch, that means most EA games could possibly be coming to the Switch. I don't see how you could think that's bad news. I know EA don't have one, but the NHL on the Switch would be a nice dream. Yeah, Super Andrew sit right there. NHL would be great. NBA Live would be great. Madden would be great. Heck, Mass Effect would be great. Any Mass Effect, put them on. The Mass Effect Andromeda would be great. Like, they are all in on this Frostbite engine. They make all of their developers use it. So, I mean, if they're working on it for the Switch, that's good news, great news. That's more third-party games to the Switch. You know, and that whole narrative, Switch doesn't have third-party games. They don't have third-party support. Like, they're starting to get them. FIFA is trash. No, it's not. Jake, stop lying. Oak City. It says boo football. Lieutenant Search says, what up, pimps? What's going on, Lieutenant? There's the homie. And so, more on the big show. I don't know if y'all heard this or not. This happened thanks to Gaming Intel. I mean, this leak and this rumor has been going on for at least a week or two. Like I said, I didn't make any videos over the holiday season. This leak during the holiday season apparently is going to be a Nintendo Direct January 2019, sometime this week. People say it's the 10th. We haven't really heard much of an announcement. Unless somebody has been on Twitter all day and has seen it. I haven't seen it. I saw a fake announcement from a Twitter account called Nintendo America, not Nintendo of America, but Nintendo America. And other than that, we haven't heard anything. Normally, when we hear something about Direct, we hear it like 2 days before. So I think tomorrow, if we don't hear anything by tomorrow, it's probably not happening until maybe next week. But people are just putting two and two together. Like, look, Nintendo normally does a Direct in January, whether it was the mini or a regular Direct. They usually do it the second week of January. People are and on a Thursday, so people are putting all these puzzle pieces together. And according to Gaming Intel, there is a Nintendo Direct plan for January, and the dude was working on it. I was told January 10th from one source, but he hasn't cross-checked the sources, and we haven't heard anything since. But apparently this, and this is what kind of confuses me. What they're going to be focusing on is Yoshi's Crafted World, Luigi's Mansion 3, Animal Crossing, and Pokemon 19. Two things here. Animal Crossing. I mean, we did get the rumor that it was going to be a Q1 game. If it is, I mean, oh well. It's not going to bother me if it is or isn't. Luigi's Mansion 3, I mean, that needs to be later in the year, right? Yoshi's Crafted World is probably going to be a Q1, Q2 release. This Pokemon one, though, this one confuses me, right? Because normally the Pokemon Company and Game Freak, they normally handle their own reveals. Normally, right? Like last year, remember that the day in May or June, was it May or June, whenever they were having a conference. It was a closed doors conference about Pokemon Let's Go and the future Pokemon, and people just was all over Twitter trying to figure out what the news was. Is there a trailer? Will there be a trailer? Will there not be a trailer? And people, I mean, it was crazy with that meeting, right? I remember the hype on that. I was at work. Avidan was trying to stream. Avidan couldn't find the trailer. He was on Twitter just refreshing, couldn't find it. Like, people were searching for this whenever this news broke, that there was a meeting. People were expecting it to be live streamed. It wasn't. People were expecting it, you know, something to surface, and eventually the trailer did surface, right? But I feel like a Pokemon in the Direct not being revealed before Game Freak does it, or yeah, like Bad Lake says, yeah, this piece of particular news is bogus. Yeah, like Game Freak and the Pokemon Company handle their own reveals, they handle their own news, and then Nintendo kind of takes it from there, right? So no, that news bogus. I don't feel like that's a thing, right? Another thing that's in here that's not in here that I feel like should be in here is Fire Emblem. Like, Fire Emblem was announced last year, and we still don't know anything about it, nor do we have a release date. Like, I feel like that should be in here, right? Like, Fire Emblem should probably be on this list before Luigi's Mansion or Animal Crossing, right? That's just my feeling. Metroid Prime, no, because I feel like Metroid Prime, since it's going to be a big game, that won't be announced till E3, and it'll be a later release in like November or so. But Fire Emblem for sure, I feel like has to be on this list. You know what I mean? Like, we've known about it for a while, and it feels like Fire Emblem would be one of their bigger games at the beginning of the year. You know what I mean? They start the hype up at the beginning. Ryoko says Heartbreak. Yeah, Fire Emblem's not on this list from Gaming Intel. And so, let me be real about this. Gaming Intel, remember when they told us that there were going to be 2 directs in September? Remember that? There was going to be 2, and we never got it. Or was it 2 directs in November? I can't remember whatever it was. But remember when they told us there was going to be 2, and then they had to go back on their word saying, well, we were confused by the news that from our source. They said there would be 2 directs, and really it was a direct plus the Treehouse Live thing that counted as the second direct. Okay, whatever. Some of the news from Gaming Intel, I don't know. I feel like the direct will happen. I just feel like they're just guessing here. Like honestly, like you can, like anybody can go from the trim and say, yeah, there will be a direct in January. Nintendo always has one, and then kind of make some stuff up. I feel like this will happen, but I feel like they're kind of bogus. Bad Lazy said it here. Like, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like what they had in this list is too easy. And yes, you could say these things, and they didn't mention Fire Emblem, which kind of bothers me a whole lot. Like, I feel like Fire Emblem definitely would be a thing, at least to me. So, we're gonna talk about this bit of news next. And so a few days ago, was it 2 days ago or yesterday? I can't remember how many days ago it was. An interview surfaced from President Furukawa talking about innovation, the future of Nintendo, in certain things, right? Like, he was just talking about, hey, you know, we will evolve if we have to. We will get with the times if we have to. In-house Gaming says, what about the real tweet from Nintendo? Please tell me about this real tweet, because I haven't seen the real tweet yet, and I haven't been on Twitter in the last hour. So if something happened in the last hour, let me know, please, because I haven't seen it. Real talk, I haven't seen it. Anyway, the news about Furukawa, like, saying what he said. So he was in an interview and he said something interesting about Nintendo and if they need to evolve, they would, and they're not, quote unquote, let me find a quote here just so I don't get it wrong. He says, we aren't really fixated on our consoles. At the moment, we're offering the uniquely developed Nintendo Switch and its software, and that's what we're basing on how we deliver the Nintendo experience. That being said, technology changes. We'll continue to think flexibly about how to deliver that experience as time goes on. It's been over 30 years since we started developing consoles. Nintendo's history goes back even farther than that, and through all the struggles they faced, the only thing that they thought about was what to make next in the long term. Perhaps our focus as a business could shift away from home consoles. Flexibility is just as important as ingenuity. And yeah, the fake one I put up, I put that one up and said, hey, yo, this is fake. But so this quote got everybody thinking, right? Like, oh my gosh, Nintendo's not gonna make consoles anymore. Like, it's not happening. They're not gonna do this anymore. What's the deal? They're gonna go third party. And let's be real, Nintendo is not going to give up their property unless business dictates it. And right now, business don't dictate it. Nintendo's not sharing their games on other consoles unless business dictates it, and business don't dictate it right now. I said don't. Business doesn't dictate it right now, right? He's just saying, look, we're going to evolve if we have to. We will change the times if we have to. But right now, we're focused on the Switch. The Switch is doing great. And if somehow in the future, if consoles aren't the thing to do and we have to offer our games up as a service where you can just stream it on your computer, we will have to. Probably something like that. Because, you know, that seems to be what everybody thinks. Like, the consoles will no longer be a thing, and we will move on to a streaming service in the future. Like, that seems to be what everybody hints at. It seems to be what the future is heading towards, but I don't know if it's gonna, I don't know how soon it's gonna hit, right? If it's gonna be 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20, we don't know, but we do know that it will eventually hit. But Furukawa is pretty much saying, look, we're going to evolve right now. People probably took what, yeah, they did take what he said out of the context, but he was just saying right now, and the quote is like right now, Nintendo Switch games are being sold in the humble bundle, right? And like right now, they're focusing on the Switch and their games, and that's it. And they will probably come out with another piece of hardware in a few years with Nintendo games. But once the market and the industry dictates, yo, we don't need these consoles anymore, you just need to pretty much put your games up as a service, or there's going to be one singular thing to play your games on, such as a PC, or one singular thing. When that market dictates it, they will then follow that trend. But until then, they're not following that trend. Until then, they're focused on the Switch, they're focused on what they've been doing, and they will evolve as time dictates. That's pretty much all he said. But people took it out of context and was like, Nintendo was no longer doing consoles. Oh my gosh, they're gonna do third-party games. Oh my gosh. I have a buddy on Twitch. I have a buddy on Twitter he was a big Xbox guy, and he was like, man, Nintendo's hardware's trash. They need to go third party because the hardware's trash. And I'm like, bruh, it doesn't matter if the hardware's trash. The hardware's selling. So they're not doing that. Chill. But people took that and ran with it and was like, yo, Nintendo's going to go third party. They're going to go just make their game. No, they're not doing that. They're not. They won't ever. Unless I said unless the market dictates it. Then they will if they have to. But they're not going to. Anyway, that got me a little heated, because I hate that. I hate it. I hate when people took that quote and was like, no, it's not going to happen. And my voice is a little hoarse because, man, it's been a while since I've done one of these. So anyway, that'll do it for the big show. Does anybody have anything they want to add in the chat? Before we get out of here, let's do a little quick Q&A sort of deal, for some fun. Let's see here. Edward says people probably took what they said out of context. Nintendo Switch games are being sold in a humble bundle. Oaksy says Nintendo makes games for their consoles, perhaps mobile. They're being flexible, and the Switch is a versatile product. They're open to the future possibilities of not requiring the console market. Nintendo knows they're putting up the most interesting console, not the most power. They definitely need cheap hardware for A++ games. Yes. Anyway, like I was saying, I appreciate y'all for staying by. If nobody has any questions, we're going to go ahead and just wrap this thing up. You still missed one more bit of big Nintendo news. Well, hit me up, Bad Latency, because I haven't really, what do we got? What do we got, Bad Latency? Because he's over here smirking. Like, what do you got, Latency? What do you got, my dude? So, what do you got, man? I'll wait. I'll let you break the news. I'll let you break it. Yeah, I missed something. So, Bad Latency, I'm waiting, man. Come on, man. Type it up before we get out of here, dog. Type it up before we get out of here, man. Hold on, man. This man, my tweet didn't tweet. That's no wonder, man. My tweet didn't tweet. Just now tweeted it. I cannot believe it. That just happened. Bad Latency, where you at, homie? Where you at, my dude? See here. Ooh, Bravery default game got confirmed. Whoa, where at, bruh? Let me find this real quick. Because I didn't see that. That's pretty big, man. Hold on. Bravery default. Let me just go ahead and search this real quick on Twitch. Or yes, on Twitter. Twitter. I don't see it, man. I don't see it. Are you sure? Well, I can't find it. So if you let everybody know in the chat real quick, Bad Latency, because I didn't see it. That is fire news if that's the thing. Let's see what this dude says. Is this dude actually live streaming right now? All right, so I told this dude I would do this, and so I'm going to do it for him. So as we leave, real quick. I don't know if he's talking. He's playing. Apparently he's on his phone playing Dark Master, streaming a game on YouTube. I promise I'd send some people over there. So you don't gotta stay. You don't have to be like, yo, but just go over there, this channel, hit the like button, just let them know, yo, Nicktendo Direct raid, whatever. We'll raid the homie Dark Master real quick, and then we're getting out of here. So that being said, I appreciate y'all for stopping by. Nicktendo Direct, the first episode of the year. Fun. It was great. We'll be back tomorrow. Don't forget to click that link, raid the homie real quick. Just let him know what's up. And yeah. It's the dude Dark Master. He comes to my streams every day. He's just streaming a mobile game. Just go over there, say what's up, click the like button, and just bounce. You ain't gotta stay. But regardless, appreciate y'all, man. Peace.